Russell that campus Flunkenstein has stumbled onto now.
I've done it. I've really done it.
Invisible.
The power to make anything invisible.
It's amazing.
Make a date to see Kurt Russell, Cesar Romero, and Joe Flynn make disappearing hilarious. In Walt Disney Productions, Now You See Him, Now You Don't.
Broadcasting live from beautiful Medfield College, here in the basement of Higgins Hall, it's the Medfield College Film Society back to school. Another great year on the campus. The interest meeting went well. Everybody loves Herbie Goes Bananas. We're doing great. It's Miller time. It's season 7. And I call this meeting to order with my fine society members. I'm going to start with the elder member of the club, Mr. Michael Crawford. Another semester for us here on Medfield College. What degree are you pursuing at this point, Michael?
Well, I'm one of those like super seniors that just kind of hangs around campus. I'm the Matthew McConaughey, shall we say, of the Dazed and Confused Medfield College. I'm doing just little film studies. I think just meddling in it a little bit as we study these films.
We're just watching the Criterion Collection and all of the, Sorcerer Mickey and the Mickey rotating Mickey,
neon Mickey. Yeah.
All of these together. Since I figured out how to get into that vending machine and get free toast cheese, it's just going crazy all night over here. Yeah. We got to talk to our guy who he really runs the AV around here. He's the guy we talked to about all our tech stuff, and our resident critic, I guess, still. But I mean, he's still here 7 years later. He's also a super senior, Andy Brown. How's it going, Andy, this semester? What are you working on? What are your goals?
My goals are to survive and to keep collecting my paycheck. And so far, it's not bounced, and that's why I keep coming back.
Survive in advance.
Surviving those parties, am I right?
Tap a keg.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be a meeting of the Film Society. The esteemed society, we are actually, recognized by campus publications. You can look us up on Medfield EDU. But Robert McSwain, our founder, how does it feel to be making another lap around the sun? We just can't leave this place. Higgins Hall, yet again. What do you say?
It is great. I just got out of film as a narrative art class, and it is kicking my rear end, but we'll see how it goes.
Was this film included as narrative art in that class?
This was my thesis statement. I'm working on.
Oh, in scene, everybody. Great. How's everybody? How's everyone doing?
Doing great.
New school year.
The beginning of a new year is exciting time.
It is. And we went bananas. But it's time for to break some new ground here in a familiar place. Michael, what are we watching tonight?
We are watching the 1972 Disney classic, Now You See Him, Now You Don't, directed by Robert Butler, written by Joseph McEvity, produced by Ron Miller himself, and starring an array of folks, including Kurt Russell, Cesar Romero, Joe Flynn, Jim Backus, a lot of prominent guys. This was the second of the Dexter Riley films, following up The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, which was also directed by Robert Butler. Robert Butler, a name I did not recognize. I looked him up. Wide a resume. He mostly a TV director, although he directed several films, but he directed the pilots for both Star Trek and Batman, and all the way up to the 90s. He was working. He shot the pilot for Moonlighting and Hill Street Blues, all this stuff.
Yeah, pilot guy.
Yeah, pilot guy lived to the age of 95 and just passed away 2 years ago in 2023.
Oh, wow.
Rest his soul. Let me just say that I'm really shocked that a TV guy made this movie.
Yeah, I had the
find
same
that
thought.
really shocking.
That was quite a revelation because I found that out after I watched the movie, and I said, yeah.
Do you think they filmed the second and third installments of the Dexter Riley thing simultaneously,
Like
like
Back
they
to the
do
Future?
the Back to the Future or Avatar?
Or The Matrix. Yes.
Other ones, yes.
I mean, they might as well have had.
We've got to follow this storyline all the way through. Oh man! So back at Medfield, right?
Yeah.
Back on the lot. I mean, the college.
Right. Dexter Riley always reminds me, Michael, of our uncle. Him and his peers remind me of what I imagined. When we watch as a child, I would say that's like Uncle Bob would have been with his chums, and I'm sure it was a few years off, but not too much.
Not too far off. Pretty close. Yeah. It's not too much of a stretch to imagine that. That's a very good point.
But that goes
Was
back way
Bob
back.
just fiddling around in the labs back in
Well,
the day?
I could see it.
Yeah,
I certainly could
Actually,
see
that's
it.
probably not, that's
having some fun and having some shenanigans. And,
Mr. Hamrick,
yeah.
just going, yeah. So Michael and I have seen this movie. What about the rest of you two guys? Seen this movie before?
I think I had, but I don't remember much about it. I mean, I remember. Well, I mean, I don't know if
That's
my mind
weird.
is mixing up the other two with this movie.
I don't know why that would.
It's easy
That's
to do.
It's very distinctive.
Now you saw it. Now you didn't.
Andy, you've seen it, right?
I'll give you 2 guesses, and the first one doesn't count.
So I've got a question. This is not the only reason this is emerging so late in our program, not on Disney Plus. Why do you think that is?
And the computer that wore tennis shoes is.
And Strongest Man
In the World
as well.
Yes.
Is it because stories matter? I can't think of a way that stories matter. in this.
I went into this expecting, I was like, all right, there's going to be one scene where something happens that's like, yikes.
But I mean, the
Nothing.
ugly Dotson made it through.
Yes, it's
Why
completely
this
innocent
one?
all the way through.
I wonder if somebody's got a producer credit that just won't budge. Their estate won't budge. Can't have it.
Maybe it's that groovy music that they just couldn't get
$1
clearance for.
billion.
Yeah,
could
that's
be.
true. Yeah,
Could have made. Now they could just get AI to do it. It'd be
the
easy.
Lovin' Spoonful wanted him to shell out.
That's an interesting question because it surely seems almost.
Maybe it was one of the golfers. Maybe he didn't want his likeness.
Now there we go.
Maybe
That's-
so.
That
Well,
could be
even
it.
in that scene, just a little look ahead. They call him one of them controversial, so maybe he did something really controversial. Who knows?
It's true. Surely that wouldn't preclude us from having somebody in a film that's done controversial things. Wouldn't preclude us from talking about the film.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Right? That couldn't be something that would stop us from talking about a movie, right?
No.
I wouldn't think so. Okay, good. Just
If we can have Nazis make a sentient VW bug, then hey, I think we're all right.
can do anything.
Well, yeah, this won't be the first controversial film then.
Well, that's what I was hinting to, Robert.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
gonna get there.
We may just get there. Well, Andy, how about a non-spoiler reaction for old time's sake here?
You know what? I like Kurt Russell.
Mm-hmm.
He's just so charming and just so easy to watch, and like this may not be like the greatest movie, but I think it's fun. It's fun to be back on the Medfield campus. It's fun to be back with this same gang of college kids and their antics, and of course Cesar Romero. So I thought it was a delightful little picture.
Wow, Not expect that reaction.
No, I did not either. So the magic's back, folks.
The magic's back. Yeah.
It's not a good movie, but it's fine.
Well, no.
It's good.
It's like Buena Vista comfort food. Buena Vista brand comfort food.
I mean, think about the trajectory, of Kurt Russell. This is late. This is his Dexter Riley takes him well into the 70s. It's just really something. Quite a pivot.
Yeah.
For the man himself. But
and then not long after, he's in The Thing.
Yep.
A hop, skip, and a jump, and he's in The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Escape from New York. Well, anything else to say before we jump right in?
No, I agree with Andy. It was good to be back in the friendly confines, and I like Kurt Russell a lot. I like him. I'm always glad when he pops up in things today, like these days. Can watch him in anything.
You know who else likes Kurt Russell? I'll interject this.
Yeah.
It's a friend of the podcast, my mother.
I was going to
really
say.
She has seen Overboard, I think, over 100 times now.
She's gone overboard for Overboard. Yeah.
Wow.
That's her new go-to movie.
That is.
Should get her a novelty license plate.
She currently holds the record. I am firm on this. That's the person who's seen Jumanji the most, the original Jumanji,
With Robin Williams?
the new one.
Yeah.
And I think she holds the record now for the most viewings of Overboard. So
She's working on Ben-Hur. That's like a longer term thing.
there's probably
takes
some people out
longer.
there that have seen Ben-Hur a lot. But
Well, I know. I'm
More
just saying she's
competition
working
than
on it.
Overboard, I would
Yes.
imagine. Yes.
I don't think she's done watching Ben-Hur. Okay. I like Kurt Russell too, and I really want to watch that Haunted Mansion special sometime.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good.
But for now, I'm going to gavel us in here and send us into the world of Now You See Him, Now You Don't. Ethan, no you don't. Buena Vista Pictures. We're back, guys. And it's the grooviest little stinger we've probably ever had. Just a little...
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Widescreen too.
I just missed all the differences when I was growing up. All these little fonts and songs, and it's a cool little thing. I like it. We fade up to lovely Walt Disney Medfield College, not Walt Disney Studios, not the same thing. Dexter Riley pulls up in his little dune buggy thing, runs down the sidewalk. No long crawl here. No prolonged credit sequence. Well, there is a prolonged credit sequence. Just right into it. Cold open, as they say in the business.
Hold open. No like soundtrack. Silent.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Just go. He runs in front of a disgruntled middle-aged man who gives quite the look take. I thought already of Robert, the Hall of Look Take fame. That was a good one. Robert, you don't have anything to say about that look take? You didn't notice it?
I don't recall that look take, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
I find that puzzling. It seemed very prominent. Anyway,
But you have sparked my interest. I have to go back and look now.
I have to go back and look. It's really good. But anyway, the gang is circled around a transistor radio, and Dex asks, "Did I miss anything?" To which a jaded chorus of no's answer. We hear Dean Higgins on the radio arguing about the budget. And we cut to the dean's office and see an antenna and a lily on the centerpiece of the table. Looks like the trustees are arguing about allocations for the science department. Ugh. Budget negotiations, am I right, guys?
Ever since NIL started, it's been nonstop fight.
That's right. Things are, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Am I right? Anyway, Dean Higgins in his argument says Dexter Riley is no Thomas Edison, to which Riley says through the walkie-talkie or whatever it is, no one said he is. And nobody seems to notice.
Dexter,
Dean
calm
Higgins, for his part, notices the gang out on the patio, as they are during every meeting, but goes around after he leaves the trustees. He takes a phone call to the middle-aged guy who did the look take. He lets Higgins know that the office has been bugged by Dexter and the gang. The gang hears it on the radio. They say they got to do something in a hurry. Higgins starts going through his bookcase looking for a bug, saying they're probably against the establishment. Well, I'll show them what the establishment really is. Here we are with our first anti-establishment mention here.
Yeah. 1972, baby, right on the pulse of things.
Also, is there a tornado happening outside during this? Because the wind is blowing like crazy.
Oh, it's
their hair. There's leaves blowing through the scene.
It's El Nino.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here we get our extended credits, guys, as Dean Higgins, flops around looking like he's on Finders Keepers or something, instead of looking at the centerpiece of the flowers where there's an antenna sticking out.
Yeah, you got to look for those antennas first before you start tearing apart the light fixtures and stuff.
Schuyler, or Richard Schuyler, his name is, who's looking over a transom, sees the dean is getting close to finding the bug, so he calls Higgins' secretary out of his office. He asks her to show him his attendance file and history to distract her, and as he does that, the gang moves in with a replacement bouquet of flowers and somehow makes it back out easy breezy.
I love how Medfield is like high school or something. Like, why would the dean's secretary have his attendance record for history class in her file cabinet?
The group is really effectively sneaky since they're so loud. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sneaking around in this movie where it's just like, hey, do this. Go, hurry. It's like, that's just loud. Anyway, guess that's not the point, is it? Anyway, secretary comes to change the flowers. Higgins thinks of the flowers only to be foiled when there's no bug there. So, end of that little caper. Well, the science professor, what's his name? Science guy?
Science professor.
Dr. Nye.
It's not like the regular guy. It's not William Shower.
It's not. No.
Yeah, Lufkin.
That's who it was. Science guy. But what?
Lufkin?
Lufkin. That's right. That's what his name was.
Dr.
Not really mentioned. It's just from IMDb. Do we know? Lufkin. Lufkin Nye, the science guy, is still doing the hard sell, trying to get funding from Dean Higgins. Dean Higgins, guys, any early reads on Dean Higgins you want to share?
Dean Higgins is, he's quite a type. He's
one of the pillars. He's one of the pillars of the Medfield colonnade, I would say.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he's the dean, and we're in Higgins Hall, of course. Well, yeah, so he tours Lufkin, tours Higgins in the lab. We get a very airplane-esque gag where a student is carefully measuring things and then makes cereal and starts eating. And that was a very modern joke, I thought, for Disney.
Yeah, they let it slow burn, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then just like moved on. They just moved on. I was like, wow, this is like something different. Yeah.
Well, let's say about Higgins. He needs to work on his people skills because he just walks around yet loudly, like calling everyone morons.
Yeah,
like,
editorializing.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did he climb the ladder? What did he do there? They get
well, I can say that I've seen some people with power do this, and maybe he's just been installed and so long he's just can say whatever he wants.
Yeah,
I don't know.
True.
I mean, at some point he has a line. I don't remember when it is, but maybe it's at this point. But he says, "Tell them not to touch me."
Yeah,
that's right.
Good line. Another guy is working on measuring bee flights, which seemed like a throwaway until it got brought back throughout the whole movie. It's like this little thing about like, I'm working on the aerodynamics of bees and their patterns of, and I was like, what? And then they just keep being callbacks to this thing.
but that's just not any guy.
It's
Ed Begley Jr., fellow
I
mad
wondered
scientist.
about that. Yes. Okay. So it really was him.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught him in the hallway earlier in the scene when they were trying to get the bug in and out of the.
Yeah, when he's like, that's my homework.
As soon as I saw my wrote down, I was like, "Was that Ed Begley Jr.?"
Yeah, that's what I did. And then went and looked. Sure enough.
And what's going on here? He's showing up in everything.
I don't know. This is how he got his start on the way to making like defense contract killer weapons.
That's right. It's all part of the universe. And Skylar, for his part, is working on Tinker Toys. So that's a little throwaway gag. Dexter is working on an invention of his own, working with quantum mechanics, of course, to solve the problem of invisibility.
It's such a problem.
For eons, man has struggled with invisibility.
To
but
be
now,
something more invisible.
yeah.
You know, bending light around objects with liquid may make them invisible.
They experimented with this during World War II, trying to figure out if they can make this work.
Did they?
Yes.
Well, evidently
British were trying.
it's an old Greek notion. Is that right? Was it a Greek guy that
The Russian
made it?
guy.
Russian guy.
Was he a
with
Klingon? For his cloaking device?
Yeah, it's a Klingon who they had the bust of, which was very convenient.
My question for these movies always is Dexter supposed to be smart or dumb?
That's a great question, and it has not been made clear in my
it was never
rewatching
answered,
of these
I don't
movies.
believe.
No, I think you're right. Like, because stuff keeps happening that makes it seem like he's smart, but it's like often the result of lightning or something,
Well,
and
I
not
have-
actually his effort. So, yes,
Much
it's a
to say on
paradox.
this subject as we go, yes, but yes, it is a paradox. We get a little patter with Dean Higgins and Dexter, and then Dean Higgins lays into the professor, saying they're wasting their money goofing around, and storms out. Later that night, as so often happens, as we said, animated lightning strikes the lab, and we see it mixing around with fancy animation with liquids in the lab. I really love the 70s era Disney stuff where they did special effects with animation. I kind of really do actually love it. Because it's kind of
It's very bed knobs and broomsticks vibe of this effect.
Yes.
Didn't
There's some in like Black Hole too, right?
Oh yeah.
didn't lightning cause the problem in the first movie?
Yeah, in Computer War Tennessee, he got hit by
Yes.
in an electric storm.
Lightning.
So it's lightning is struck twice here.
Yes.
And yeah, that's right.
Very powerful.
Maybe he isn't smart. Maybe he's just incredibly, prone to lightning strike. Yeah, magnetic.
It's
I don't know, conductive. Yeah. Well, the next day, a Lincoln Continental pulls up. Who is it? But our old friend AJ Arno. Hey, I thought he was in jail, and so did everybody else. We love our Alonzo P. Hawk here, but if I can't have my Hawk, AJ Arno is a great Disney villain.
He's a pretty good substitute if we can't have our
Hall of
Hawk.
Fame.
I agree.
That's the name and the Arno Industries or whatever it's called. It's good stuff.
He brings just he's very cheerful about his villainy.
Yes.
Hawk is always grumpy.
It's a different thing for sure.
It's a different thing. He's very jolly. Also just gives, and we probably talked about this the last time we encountered him, vaguely sort of Latin Walt Disney vibes.
Yes.
Yeah, I see it.
So, Andy,
do
you're a big Hawk guy. So where does?
Oh, I mean, Arno he's in the Rogues Gallery, the Medfield Rogues Gallery, I think.
Okay.
And so he is.
I mean, he's no Hawk. I'm not saying that.
Yeah. Right.
He's not.
It's a different flavor. He's more of a political figure than Hawk is.
Mhm.
Hawk is like full mustache twisting.
That would be an interesting
More Professor Fate.
to have that list of our favorite villains of Disney movies. Because I mean, you'd have Hawk, you'd have Arno, you'd have what's the guy from the Love Bug?
Thorndike. Yeah.
Thorndike in there.
Yeah.
So that'd
Judge
be fun to.
Doom.
Judge Doom. Okay.
Jim. Okay.
So yeah.
Well, I'm talking about just movies that we've seen, I guess. But you're talking about
Yeah.
actually in Medfield, the actual town, right?
Well, not necessarily Medfield, the town, but it'd just be fun. little
Medfield
exercise.
state of mind. Well, with Arno comes Cookie the chauffeur, a guy who would belong in Dick Tracy. I feel like he's just a natural for the Dick Tracy universe. Very distinctive looking man. And the gang stops Arno. Arno gives a really funny and kind of perhaps salient point for these days, saying, that was just a mistake. Police, judges, they all make mistakes, but I forgive them and I don't hold anything against anyone.
Yeah, it felt a little topical there.
That's really great and so pleasant. I love the different flavor. It's really funny to me.
Although it's funny to me that it's like he didn't remember like these. He's like, "Hey, kids." It's like, do you recognize these are the kids that had you like thrown in prison or whatever? Or do you just happy to see him?
Through it, man. He's moving through it.
Yeah.
So. Well, it turns out that Arno has a mortgage on the college. Dean Higgins can pay it whenever he wants. It means he can relax for the first time in his career. To Dexter, this sounds fishy. Why would Arno do this? I wonder. Anyway, back in the lab, Dexter sees his whole experiment's burned out. As he's trying to fix it, his glasses drop into the mysterious lightning liquid halfway. And when he picks them up, they're missing halfway. He grabs a pair of tongs to try to grab the glasses, and the tongs, as far as they were submerged, disappear as well. He finally figures out that his invisibility fluid now works as he grabs the space around the tongs, and they depress. So that was an interesting little way of showing it.
I will say
the space
that,
and it moved the tongs.
Yeah, they really hit these notes many, many times in a row.
Yes.
And we're clearly quite pleased with themselves. But I will say these just like cheesy sort of practical effects were really pretty effective. Pretty good. Pretty well done.
My favorite one was when he had figured it out with the tongs, and he took his half glasses and like hit where the disappeared glass would be on this like porcelain basin he had, and it went talk.
Yeah,
That's right.
And the only thing I will say to your point is that they give them this half pair of glasses to put on his face, and they go on in a totally half pair of glasses way. I'm like, come on, do another take of that one, guys.
Yeah.
Could have gotten that looking a little better, but yeah. Anybody else want to weigh in on the effects here yet? No. Okay.
Plenty more coming.
Yeah. I said if not now, then later. He starts to experiment with other things, including a pencil, with a pretty awful jump cut on that one. But finally, he takes his hand in and dips it, and sure enough, invisible. Debbie and Skylar roll in, and Dexter holds up his apparent severed hand and says, "It works." I mean, don't do that to people. You're going to scare them.
Yeah, that's not good.
And to be fair, they were just like, what? They were not as alarmed as perhaps they could have been. Well, we get all kinds of effects here. He's putting his hands on the scale, lots of tapping invisible things. Skylar tries, his hand disappears too. He asks how they get it off. Riley says there's probably not any trick to it, but try as they might, he can't seem to get the hand to reappear. What will they do? I say try as they might. They didn't really try a very obvious solution.
No, they didn't.
First.
No, not the thing that I would do first thing.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Let's stay tuned.
Teaching the scientific method was not a strong suit at Medfield College.
No.
Clearly, they were just running amok. There was a guy using Tinker Toys. Well, Higgins and Arno come in, and Higgins is trying to resell everything that was sold to him the day before. This science stuff is great. Come on. And Arno isn't interested. He's talking about the view from the lab. Very good view. I like this view. Do you mind if my architect looks at it? It's a very good view. They leave, and Skylar and Dexter figure out that water takes it off, guys. Water can do it. So the solution that's liquid can be washed off with water instead of rubbing it.
That.
I just don't know.
Again,
that's why we're not scientists. Yeah.
Leaning towards dumb right now. I mean,
Gang is just trying to figure out what Arno is up to. What do you think, guys? He, he's looking out the window and says he wants to show it to his architect. I wonder what he could be up to.
Loves that view.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he wants to build them a new library.
that's it.
Yes.
It's got to be.
Yes.
How many times has Medfield College been had their mortgage?
Yeah,
I mean, they're up against it, man. It's a real commentary on small private schools.
Like a junk bond just floating around everywhere.
I really thought, Medfield would be a land grant institution. It just has that feeling to it, but I guess it wasn't. Little college. Well, we cut to night. Debbie has one of those little bug spray things, and she Dexter and Skylar, and they head over to Arno, this modern building. Michael, did you recognize that building? Because I did not, but I imagine I know where it is.
I was wondering if it was the Roy O. Disney building.
I wondered that as well. That was my first guess.
But I don't know.
I don't either. And then my second guess was like stuff I saw later. So who knows? But the Arno building.
Very
I was
good.
really excited about that. Walk into the office. While they're walking into the office building, one of them walks into a water puddle, meaning a pair of shoes show up walking very slowly. It's Skylar's shoes. He does a little jig. Guys, the shoes gag.
They love.
How about let's do it
gag.
for about 15 minutes here.
It's
Watching the
like
shoes
we figured
go
out how
around.
to do it, so we are gonna do it.
I wonder how they did it. I couldn't figure it out. I mean,
I couldn't either.
I know that's the thing about this movie is like there are lots of like really well done little effects like this, but man, they just lean into it so hard.
yes.
Night Watchman comes along and sees the shoes and tries to pick them up, which I think is a really funny, like he's really alarmed by the shoes and is like, I've got to pick these up, and then they won't pick up.
Yeah,
I kinda thought
this is a
was
funny scene. The only thing that would make this better if it was Harry Dean Stanton who was the Night Watchman. Because at first I thought it was, but it wasn't. But he's of that sort of genre of person. But he's like, oh, Arno put out his tennis shoes to be shined. Must be going crazy or something like that. And then he like pokes the shoe, and I guess it's Skylar, and is like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Stomps on the foot. Yeah, he stomps on it and foot kicks him, grabs his keys, and unlocks Arno's office door, which is, one of those things where the Night Watchman was like, man, that was crazy. Anyway, I guess I'll lock it up.
Yeah.
But go away.
Guess that's that.
So, like season 2 of our podcast, Andy would have been hating this, but I was enjoying this.
Okay, tell me more. Tell me more.
I
wanna
don't know.
about your,
It's so goofy.
Yes.
And but it's I don't know, it's playful. I mean, it's fun, and so I'm more on board with it this time. I was less critical, I guess I would say.
I feel you.
What have we done to our Andy? I like the shoe thing. I thought it was really funny. But man, okay, so we have agreed we like AJ Arno. He's no hawk, but man, his office, guys. I really love AJ Arno's office.
Yes.
I thought you loved his suit. I mean, his clothing. I mean, he looked
his
fantastic.
clothes.
He's
got it
immaculate.
going on.
Yeah.
He is. They stumble across an incredible model, complete with like switchboard controlling lighting. I mean,
What is it about crazed businessmen and models?
It is
Well,
very
you
Bond
know.
villain.
Well,
You
Hawk
gotta
had
have the
the-
model, Robert. You gotta have the model.
That's
So
true,
you
because
can-
Hawk had the Hawk Plaza model.
Yes.
Yes, he did. He
Yes.
did.
But yeah,
Yeah,
the
they
little
did.
switch on lights, light control thing was very Operation Grand Slam from Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Very.
I just want to circle around to that Hawk Plaza model and just remind you all that underneath that model was a little model of the fire station.
Yes.
That when they removed it, it was like, "What is that?"
Zoom
No.
in on it, like crash zoom in on the firehouse. Watch.
It's really one of my favorite.
Provide machines that provide hot soup to the elderly residents.
Herbie Rides Again, folks. Check it out in our Herbie series. Watch a Herbie movie, But anyway, we're not right now. Concurrent with finding the model, they also find a memo to Arno saying that the law surrounding gambling on campus is still in effect. So Arno is trying to build a casino. Arno Town.
Which I just love this so much. First, like, what obscure ancient zoning law is it that allows? It was like, yes, the laws concerning gambling on the property of Medfield College are still in effect. But I love he's like, Skylar's like, why is there water in the middle of the football stadium? He's like, it's a dog track. I just love the depravity of it all, of like the casino and the dog track and all this stuff. It's great.
Really good. They're, again, they're invisible, but they are yelling. They're like, I can't believe this. This is crazy. And
what is up with that?
people can hear through walls and doors. And around this time, AJ Arno comes into his office. The man himself pulls out his heater because he's hearing voices.
I mean, they got the lights on and everything.
He sees a floating camera because Skylar's sitting there taking pictures. Just like, what are they doing? Like Chuck Taylor's in the floating camera. But he can't quite catch them. Even though his gun fires, Skylar and Riley make it out successfully. But Arno sees Debbie leaving in the buggy, her not even driving. She's being driven by an invisible car, a car with no driver, a familiar trope for us here. But this time it's because an invisible person is driving the car.
True.
They drive down to the residential street backlot, a star of many of the movies we have seen here, many houses we know and love. They stop at a light. There's no driver of the car. The Herbie gag stays on. The people at the light, what? How many movies have a stop at the light double take gag?
God, we've seen a lot.
Well, I mean, a lot of them we've seen and a lot that we haven't. It's really a thing in cinema. It's like, that and the jurisdiction in cop movies. You get a couple of those things in one movie and you got
Submarines going to crush depth.
So yeah, that's right. Submarines at crush depth.
It was just lacking someone eating like a sandwich and just like hanging their mouth open while the sandwich falls apart.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, the next day, Riley reveals Arno's intentions to Dean Higgins. Lufkin suggests the Forsyth Award, a distinguished science award. Dexter says he may have something just in fact that will win the award, but he can't show Dean Higgins until the day of the contest. Why, I ask?
Why?
Higgins is tasked with calling Forsyth himself, the man behind the award, to get Medfield back into competition. And as Forsyth is staying at the Medfield Inn, which is some new lore to Medfield, the Medfield Inn, I got really excited about that.
Absolutely. Didn't you work at the Medfield Inn for a while?
I was going to say, yeah.
I did work at the Medfield Inn. Yes, I did. Well, so Higgins gets Forsyth, who is
Thurston Howell himself.
Yeah.
a very well cast.
Yes.
I would say. He's doing the putt thing around his well-appointed room, I would say. Forsyth says dropping small colleges from the running makes sense because it's a waste of time, no innovation. But he invites Higgins to join him for a threesome at Thunder Ridge with Dean Collingsgood from State.
Well, where's Rutland? Where's Rutland in all this?
They make arrangements to play Thunder Ridge, but Higgins seemed hesitant because, perhaps because he does not play golf. Which, I mean, how do you make it to the deanship without a little golf in your CV? I ask.
Seriously. I mean, there's more of that involved than anything else, probably.
Higgins and Lufkin leave as Dexter tasks Skylar with being the caddy, which I don't understand why. He's never done that before. But with all this golf excitement, we fade out, ending Act 1.
Well, we arrive, in fact, at the golf course where veteran that guy is Dean Collingsgood. It's our pal from many movies, including Absent-Minded Professor.
3, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, he's Dean Collingsgood, and Forsyth is there too. Forsyth tees off successfully, and Dean Collingsgood tees off. They got great shots. It's Dean Higgins' turn. AJ Arno's there too. He's just kind of up on the patio, kind of hanging out on the.
He's a club member, yeah.
Yeah, like watching through some plants, and he's watching Higgins like try to tee off, and the first shot goes like straight up vertically and then back down, which is pretty funny. And we get some expected bits of business of Higgins. I mean, we can tell where this is going to go straight away. He's bad at golf. He finally gets a shot off, nails a resident of Mayberry in the back who's standing there. Andy, who's this guy?
That's Chester.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of episodes of Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah.
You always amaze me, Andy. Without hesitation, you can pick these people out.
He is. Well, this is like a very, very distinctive guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, he takes, I love he hits him in the back. He's like, and like falls over. Oh, but he's fine. He's fine, folks. Don't worry about it. Dexter's watching all this from the brush. He's like in the scrub with Debbie. He decides it's time to help. So he has her spray him with the invisibility potion.
Can I say real quick that the ASMR sound of the sprayer,
I was going to say that, yes.
There's a nice sound there that makes you just feel good.
Well, and it's like that's another little animated effect where it just goes like a little red.
Yeah.
Little cloud.
Yeah, a little cloud effect.
I love how they cover their plot hole here, too, with...
their one plot hole?
Well, the one that this possible plot hole that would have aroused.
Which is which?
Well, which can be more specific.
When Dexter goes, "Hey, I got this stick here. This looks like it could be interesting."
Oh yeah, that's right. This might prove useful. It's like an adventure, like King's Quest or something.
Yes, exactly.
You see a stick. Okay.
There's a strange stick there on the ground.
Stash.
I will say that the Dexter ADR, while he is supposed to be invisible, is ridiculous. Like, I'm going to walk over here. Oh, what's this? I'm talking to myself. Pretty bad. Anyway, Collingsgood is being condescending to Dean Higgins, telling him, better hit the showers while me and Forsyth, we'll go golfing. They're like, yeah, there's a lot of people waiting to play through, and it cuts away to this group of people at the top of the hill. They're like,
love that.
It's like a bunch of Wookiees standing there.
Yeah. It's like the
Boonta over there.
The sand people from. Think about it.
Just imagine the director telling them to wave on cue.
Oh yeah, now go. Gary
go.
Marshall tells them. Yeah. I imagined it was just all of Ron Miller's like golf buddies that just showed up that day.
Maybe they were actually waiting for them to wrap up the shoot so they could play through.
Yeah, it could be. Well, Higgins insists on continuing, and he finally manages to get a shot off that actually lands on the course. And it rolls to a stop. I mean, it's not a great shot, but it's at least somewhere where it's supposed to be. But then it starts going a little more. Dexter, who's invisible, is whacking it along with his invisible stick, and we just hear it talk as it putters along, and then goes straight to the green, and then goes straight to the hole. Boop.
He would have to be
going.
He would have to be running to each shot to make it.
Yeah. It's like polo.
You have to be like flying or something. Yeah,
because he really keeps it going. He's like whacking it good. We all know where this is going. We get lots of scenes of Higgins hitting terrible shots.
Lots of scenes, lots of them.
Did they use the same shot twice?
I think so. Yeah,
there's a hook shot where he hooks it right and.
Maybe. Dexter guides it into the hole every time. To everybody's amazed every time. What? And Collinsgood is offended, and Forsyth is amazed. And Dexter's also sabotaging Collinsgood's game. Like, he's hitting these perfect shots, and Dexter whoops him out of the hole and reroutes him into the sand trap, which causes him to be annoyed. So it goes on and on like this. Dexter is saving Higgins' balls from the sand trap. Is very ridiculous ADR of him singing "The Farmer in the Dale" as he covers his tracks with a rake, which at least they thought to do. Why would he be doing that? Loudly singing "Farmer in the Dale"? I don't know.
Because he has to talk when he's not seen, so we know that he's...
No, it's him.
Yeah,
It's him.
We know it's not a magical rake. Somehow raking.
that's exactly.
Wait, what's happening? I'm confused. Why is that rake moving by itself?
Yeah.
Flubber.
What is this strange rake I see? Unfrozen caveman movie viewer. Anyway, it just goes on and on and on. We go back to the club where two guys are gossiping. One of them, who's like the neighbor guy from Shaggy DA, who was like the sea captain dude, whose house got robbed. Anyway, they're talking about Higgins's performance. Oh, it's I've never seen anything like it. And Arno overhears, and he's curious about what's happening. He's got suspicious face going on. And I will say, as this all goes on and on and on and on, the golf shot effects are pretty good, and I'm not really sure how they did them.
I'm not either. They look like, magnetic, but I'm sure that's not what it is.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, that's the effect it gives, because they're not like blue screened or anything like that, cheesy. And like, I didn't see any wires, and I'm not sure how you would do it with a wire anyway. Not sure how that happened, but it's one of those things where it's really effective, but they curse themselves by falling in love with their own trick. And
too much.
Doing it over and over again.
We're as amazed at the techniques as the bystanders were amazed at Dean Higgins' shots themselves.
Absolutely. Dean Higgins hits 4 holes in 1. He attracts a crowd, and he's getting a full head. He's getting kind of full of himself.
I will say, that the Dean Higgins, full of himself, really did amuse me. Like, they were doing the joke too much, and that always gets on my nerves. But him vamping on oh yeah, I'm good. Like, it was just really kind of funny.
Yeah, doing kind of like the royal wave from the wrist.
Yes.
Kind of thing. Yeah. And Forsyth, for his part, is eating it up. Like, he's like, "This is amazing, Higgins. You're fantastic."
It's very Rodney Dangerfield from Caddyshack.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah. AJ Arno, still very curious. He's tagging along with the scrum. He's just kind of like looking over everybody's shoulders with his eyebrow raised, very curious. And in the end, Higgins hits another amazing shot that comes out of the brush, rolls back into the hole, and scores Medfield a place in the Forsyth Awards. So all is good. Or is it? Back in the locker room, Dexter's whistling, so we know he's there. So we know this towel isn't floating itself across the room. Dexter gets into the shower, and then Arno enters soon after, and he sees Dexter in the shower, rinse off the potion, and become visible in his clothes.
But,
Showering clothed.
Yes, he was showering clothed. Why did he have to do that before he left?
I know, just go home.
Yeah.
And that means that when he is leaving, he is soaking wet in all of his clothes.
I know, he's soaking wet, and he just leaves kind of like
That's right.
very casually.
Again, Dexter maybe not so smart. I mean, I think that's
Seems like we're building the case here for sure.
Like, I'm going to go out to the pro shop and just drip on everything. Arno can't believe his eyes. Cookie comes in. It's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I'm going crazy, Cookie." So back at Medfield, Higgins gets a call. He thinks it's one of his well-wishers because everybody's been calling him. Gets a call inviting him to some golf tournament. It's the man at the teleplay or something. I can't remember what it is, but some guy on TV. It's like, "You want to come to the golf tournament?" And he's like, well, this could pay off the mortgage. This could pay off the mortgage for the whole college. So he's going to go. He's like, call Skylar. Let's go. Head to the airport. Dexter is not there. Dexter's heading back to the gang's house, and Ed Begley Jr. is studying his bees in the living room. And he tells Dexter, the gang's off at the airport seeing Dean Higgins off. He's going off to play a golf tournament. Skylar says you should probably get there ASAP because, whatever.
What was back in Ed Begley Jr.'s room? What was the deal with the gray beetle hood in the middle of the room? He sort of like had a deconstructed bug sitting over there.
Oh, I don't know. Well, maybe that was because later in the show, Skylar has a beetle of himself. Maybe it's part of his car. I don't know. That's weird.
I mean, this one. Well, yeah. I mean, there were beetles everywhere in this movie, and I mean more on that later. But that was the first sighting, and it looked very much like a Herbie hood.
Yeah.
It's the same. Color.
There's online scuttlebutt about Herbie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come back to that.
A lot of those lying around at the studio back in the day. So anyway, Ed Begley Jr. fills him in, and Dexter freaks out. He realizes what's going on and speeds off to the airport as Cookie tells him Cookie's doing recon.
Cookie.
So we get to the Burbank airport where Higgins is giving a speech as he boards the Disney studio jet.
Yes.
And,
you get Frank Stanek.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out Frank Stanek. A lot of crowd with supportive signs for Dino. And Dexter speeds up with some Waka Chicka Waka music. He's doing, they've got like the kind of A-Team / Dukes of Hazzard cam on him as he's speeding past all these hangars, these aircraft hangars. Probably breaking several laws doing this, but that's fine. He's got Waka Chicka Waka music to protect him. And he winds up unsuccessfully chasing Dean Higgins' plane down the airstrip itself. A little action sequence here in the middle of our movie.
Yeah, they're not afraid to push that lever.
Is that the same? You mentioned that was the Disney Gulfstream. Is that the same one they have preserved? Like the.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
It would be
the former Mickey Mouse. Yeah.
Because they had that one for a good long while, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, they had that, and when Walt was still alive. So yeah, it would have been the same one. I had wondered if Kurt Russell's had been like, I'm tired of doing the same old light comedy. I want some action in here. So we'll give you a scene where you're speeding down the airstrip, chasing a plane. Very Tom Cruise here in his dune buggy, speeding along, hair flapping in the wind. So he got to do some stunt driving. Good for him. Anyway, at the tournament, we get this amazing TV announcer. Love this guy.
Yeah, he's been in other stuff, wasn't he?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I meant to look him up to see if he was just a guy.
I
thought he's certainly a dude.
I thought he had been in
solid hair.
I think he may have been in the previous movie.
Oh, could have been.
The previous Dexter movie, yeah.
Anyway, he's there to introduce the event, and he kind of describes the first hole. He brings out the first golfer, Billy Casper, who was an actual golfer. Passed away in 2015.
Oh, wow. You can tell he's an actual golfer because of acting.
Yes. Oh, yes.
The way he looks like a creep because he's not acting.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you didn't know before that he was not an actor but a real golfer, you would quickly figure that out. He's kind of squaring off to tee off, and Higgins comes out and does this really cocky, it's kind of Barney Fife-y, kind of I'll show you how to tee off. Put your hands here, yeah. This guy's like, what? What are you doing? Anyway, Casper's successful with his tee off. Higgins takes the credit. They're like, oh, Dean Higgins must have told him something very good. Yes. Next golfer up is, quote, controversial Dave Hill. Also a real golfer. I meant to look up, see why he was controversial, because it must have been great for them to bring it up.
I did. All I read was he was outspoken.
Oh, so he was like a McEnroe type.
Yeah, he was kind of like the McEnroe of golf. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Well, controversial Dave Hill, which I just want controversial Dave Hill to become a stock character that like reappears from time to time. Anyway, he tees off as well. The gang's back at Medfield watching on TV. Dexter's tore up because he knows what's going on, but everybody else is like, yay, Dean Higgins, yay. So Higgins comes up, tapes his head to the crowd, and tees off right into a tree. You can see where this is going.
Yes.
Higgins does disastrously, gets his ball in a sand trap, and just starts hacking away at it. It's like a joke from I'm trying to think of what kind of movie it's a joke from. It's almost like an animated cartoon joke. Just because he's like, whack, 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 whack. And there's a lady with like a chalkboard counting the strokes, and it's just like one after the other.
Yeah. I like the chalkboard. That was really good.
Yeah, that was good. The event wraps up. The guy's like, oh, here come our pros. And the real pros get a few lines in. They're like, yeah, that guy. There's this really, really some great acting going on here. But they made it. But Higgins is still out in the rough somewhere on hole whatever, trying to get out of the rough. And he winds up out on the beach somewhere. Suddenly it's Help with the Beatles. He's
totally.
Yeah. It was like, where is he now? He's on a beach. Man, lost the thread entirely. I'm like, what does this have to do with seeing things and not seeing things?
That's yes, Michael. Because I said, is this the whole second act is a golf movie now?
Yes, it is. Right. And this part without even Dexter around to be invisible, or anybody to be invisible. So they have Higgins. Skylar's like, maybe you should turn around. He turns around and there's like this great big close up of a wave coming in, and he's like, ah. So Higgins rolls around in the surf a little bit, and Arna is watching on TV, and he's like, something screwy going on. And I bet Dexter Riley and his lab friends are responsible for it all. Ah. So back at Medfield, Higgins shows up, and he's like, don't even say a word. Don't even talk to me. Science teacher guy brings in a sculpture of a bumblebee. I hope this is in the archive somewhere.
I was thinking the same thing. That would be awesome to find that.
It's great. It's like he made this Ed Begley Jr., whose name is Druffle.
Yes, Truffle.
Made this sculpture of a bumblebee to illustrate something. I don't know what, but it's like a little cartoon bumblebee.
It's like the size of the bumblebee and the way its wings are. It shouldn't be able to fly, but it does.
It's all that like that. Old trope about like the wings of a bumblebee aren't big enough to lift its weight. So how do they fly? No one knows.
Yeah.
That's a thing that people always say. I don't know if it's an actual thing, but anyway, apparently it was a thing in 1972 as well. And Druffle was getting to the root of it.
Maybe that's where it started. Maybe that was because
it could be.
I remember hearing it in middle school. People talking
Druffle.
about that in middle school.
Wow. What if this was the start of it all?
Anyway,
the science teacher guy says, well, we've got the bumblebee. We could still win the Forsyth Award. And Higgins like, yeah, Druffle and the bee experiment. That's our last chance. So then somebody shows up, comes in, wrapped up like a mummy. Like something from another different kind of movie. Mm-hmm. And he's got a piece of paper in his pocket that says it's Druffle. He got bitten by bumblebees. He's allergic, and he'll have to abandon his experiment.
And this like wrap up thing really sticks out in my memory from this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just remember that.
And before
Maybe it alarmed me on some deeper level. I don't know.
It is alarming because he's got
It
this
is.
like featureless, the
Yes.
blank face
Yes.
with his glasses on over the hole in it, but you can't see his eyes or his mouth. It's very strange.
and before he comes in, he's like, they get a call or something. Doesn't the phone buzz?
Yeah, the secretary is like, Druffle's here.
Yeah, and when it happens, though, Dean Higgins, his reaction, he looks at the bee because he thinks it's like buzzing. Did you notice that?
Oh,
It was really well done. I was like, that's very subtle, and that was nice.
That's kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Higgins is devastated. He's like, the college has been lost, but science teacher man says, no, there's still Dexter. Higgins is not thrilled by this at all. So later that night, Dexter and Skylar are at the lab, kind of working away, getting ready for things. And Cookie comes in. He's dressed as a janitor, and he has a little ladder, so he climbs up and looks over the transom into the lab as Dexter and Skylar are talking about how they're going to win the Forsyth Award, and they're planning out their demonstration, their genius demonstration, which consists of Skylar becoming invisible and picking up a football and making it float through the air. Like, I am moving this now. Yeah.
And narrating it, of course.
Yeah. So Skylar has a date. Dexter's like, well, let's run through this. Let me spray you. And Skylar's like, I have a date. And so I don't want to use the spray that night because I'd have to take another shower. But Dexter tries to get him anyway and just hits his head, makes his head disappear, which makes Cookie scared. Cookie falls off his ladder, which draws Dexter's attention. Dexter comes out, sees Cookie, does not put two and two together or recognize Cookie, which is kind of insane to me because the guy, Cookie, talks to him. Anyway, Cookie gets away. He heads back to Arno's, and he's all hot and bothered. He's like, you're not going to believe me. You're not going to believe me. And I do like the bit of business where Arna's henchman is standing outside the door, staring in, and Cookie goes and shuts it. The guy opens it again. And he goes back to shut it again. He's like, you're never going to believe this. So anyway, Cookie's like, I'm going crazy. Maybe I'm, but he tells him about the spray, and Arno instantly believes him. He's like, I believe you. And sends him back to the lab, which Dexter and Skylar are gone now. And he busts in and swaps out the potion with a duplicate spray thingy, whatever you call those things.
Mm-hmm.
And he does it, bringing us to Act 3.
Guys, if we ever start a podcast newsletter, we're going to have to use the name of this newspaper that they show in the film at this point, the Medfield Herald.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's so much great Medfield lore in this.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
World building.
But,
Also, they had a headline that Congress encouraged to give aid to rapid transit.
yeah.
Oh, there. Yeah.
And then
all
there's
for
there's private college hearing, public urged to aid. So the public's supposed to be giving money to the private college. Interesting. Annual earning gain shown in industrial report. A volunteer committee is selected to help social service group. All kinds of headlines. But the big one is Forsyth visits college today. Medfield hopes for scientific award. So Forsyth has arrived to check out what Medfield has cooking, and tagging along, of course, is Dean Collingsgood, who's quick to give Dean Higgins a hard time about his recent golfing appearance. And I think we get Dean's first name. Is it Eugene?
It's Eugene.
Eugene. Well, Forsyth has a little riff with the local press about who's the real person who's going to be making this choice. You might catch that little back and forth between the two. So Dexter and Debbie and Skylar are all dressed up and they're ready to demonstrate their invisibility solution. They're dressed in their Sunday best. Forsyth,
sharp. Yeah.
Forsyth and the rest of the gallery of onlookers are ready to see what Dexter has to show them. And once they hear that this involves invisibility, they all become quite skeptical, naturally. Then Dexter explains the entire procedure about how he's going to spray Skylar with the invisibility solution. And while invisible, Skylar will talk and lift some objects so that you know that it's him. So Dexter goes to spray Skylar with the invisibility stuff. And, rather what he thinks is the invisibility solution. But then we get a great performance here from Skylar, the actor who thinks he's invisible, but he's actually quite visible to everybody. And he goes on with this whole routine of like, I am lifting this, vase.
I love this. Cracks me up. The voice he uses is so ridiculous.
Yes.
It's very similar to Singing in the Rain, the old dude who does the this is a talking picture kind of thing.
Yeah. So he goes on with his routine, and Dexter and Debbie are starting to panic because they know something's wrong. And everyone else is kind of looking around like, is this like a big joke or something? But they just keep watching, and then they're really disgusted when the whole charade just kind of falls apart, and they just leave angrily. Well, not reading the room and thinking he's given the performance of a lifetime, Skylar is quickly brought to reality by Debbie, who chucks some water onto him, while Dexter is tasting the solution and determines that it's just colored water. But about this time, Charlie, the regular janitor, arrives. And between him and the gang, they figure out that the janitor that they had just seen the night before was an imposter, and they recognize him as Arno's chauffeur, Cookie.
Dick Tracy.
And he must have been the one who made the switch. So they want to know what Arno has planned, and it's time to get the other guys involved. And so some of the guys, let's see, I think Slither, Miles, aka Frank Welker, and Henry. They're dressed as delivery boys, and they do the whole walkie-talkie gag that they used earlier in the film when they were listening in on Dean Higgins's meeting. So they put the walkie-talkie in a vase of flowers, and all three deliver it to Arno's office, telling his assistant that there's a message that they have to deliver as well. And so she's like, "Oh, okay, I understand, I get it." And meanwhile, Arno and his men are just hanging out in his office, doing dude stuff. And he hears that someone has sent him flowers, and he's like, "What? Who would send me flowers?" So she's like, "All right, come on in." So she brings in the guys, and they find their pitch with their little pitch. What do they call those things? Pitch harp, pitch pipe. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And the guys start singing "Happy Birthday" to Arno, and even Cookie joins in singing along. And when he does, Arno just smacks him. He's like, "Cut it out!" And they say that this is from Dean Higgins, and Arno's really confused. And he tells Cookie, he's like, "I don't know why you would. It's not even my birthday, but Cookie, take care of them," which I thought was a classy move. This is one of those Arno things that I'm like, I like this. I wish I had a guy I could just look at him and say, "Hey, take care of that."
Heck yeah.
Dexter and the other guys are back at Medfield, and they are hearing the whole thing over the walkie-talkie. And Dexter is saying that they've got to have someone monitoring the radio day and night. Back in Arno's office, he's joking that Dean Higgins must be worried that he's going to foreclose on the college, and so he decided to send him some flowers. But you know what? Dean Higgins is right. So it's the very, very Joker, this little scene here with Arno. Yeah. Well, sometime later down at Medfield Security Bank. Have we seen Medfield Security Bank before?
Not to my memory.
No, yeah, I don't think so.
All I know is the Old Lang Syne Savings and Loan.
Yeah. Right, yeah. I forgot about that place. But out at the Medfield Security Bank, an armored truck has arrived, and the guards are bringing in some money with a bunch of onlookers just kind of standing around watching, including Arno with some ice cream, with an ice cream cone. and there's this loose lip guard who's just telling Arno just exactly, here's the schedule. Come in on Friday if you want some money because we got a bunch. It's like, dude, sec ops. I mean,
yeah, really.
Does
if
this
you're
guy
going to
work?
rob us, a good time would be on Friday about 3 p.m.
I was like, does this guy work for Pete Hegseth or something? No, because it was like, my goodness. But anyways, why was Arno eating ice cream?
This man likes ice cream.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like ice cream now?
You're right. It's my fault.
I think you should look at yourself why you aren't eating ice cream.
Oh, back at college, Skylar's listening in on Arno's men playing cards, and he's playing cards himself. And Arno arrives. Oh, Arno arrives with some ice cream, so he's going to get out ice cream for his guys,
For the boys. He's a good boss.
boys. And he lets it out that they're going to rob the bank at exactly 1 p.m. using the invisibility solution. And cue the funky action music because it's Jeff described this music.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, you got a picked Fender bass going nuts. You got the Wonka Chicka guitar. And yeah, I mean, I feel like the music in this is definitely of a piece. My only critique to it is that they did the same drop many times. So this is kind of the first thing where I'm like, yeah, it feels like a TV show. Like they're doing stingers that are the same, but the action scenes are top notch. I mean, riveting groove pockets. I would
For sure.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it gets Skylar up and moving, and he's running to his extremely dusty VW bug that we talked about earlier. And he's off to tell the others, who are all sitting in a very boring history class, half asleep. This professor was great.
Yeah, this is very anyone Bueller.
Yeah, Ben Stein.
Yeah.
Very Ben Stein. But Skylar gets everybody's attention, and they all just kind of filter out one by one as the professor is just droning on and on about where the color purple came from. That made me laugh. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, this is funny. This is almost Monty Python. Each one being just kind of like, excuse me, and just like getting up and turn and leaving, and just everybody leaves.
Yeah, and there's like 3 people left in the class. Well, they devise a plan where Skylar will go tell the police what's going on, and then everyone else will head down to the bank. So Dexter thinks that if they can get the invisibility solution back, they might still have a shot at the award, the Forsyth Award, that is. Well, now down at the bank, Dexter has alerted the bank president to the pending robbery. Have we seen this guy before? President?
Yeah. He Edward Arnold's the actor, and he was in a ton of stuff. But he may have been head of Medfield at some point in the Absent-Minded Professor days, I think.
So Dexter's told him and said, "Hey, this robbery's going to happen," and the bank president's very thankful. He's taking it very seriously. But then until Dexter mentions that they're not going to actually be able to keep an eye on anything because the robbers are going to be invisible. And upon hearing this news, the president angrily dismisses Dexter and tells everybody to, hey, just return to business as normal. Dexter leaves the bank defeated and goes to tell the gang, who are all hanging on the street outside. And Skylar arrives and says the police pretty much told him the same thing. And then Dexter notices a nearby fire hydrant and gets the idea that they can just spray Arno with water when he tries to leave, and instructs the others to go get some tools and hoses. Well, just then, Arno and Cookie arrive, invisible, of course, but they're doing the whole, here's a carb, and you can't see the drivers. And Robert, what kind of car was it? Was this like a Studebaker?
I didn't catch that one. I don't think it was a Studebaker, but maybe an old Ford, like a 49. But,
Okay.
early 50s.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool looking car.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, you had that raked rear end. So maybe it was a Studebaker.
So again, here are some more, very simple but very effective practical effects of the car doors opening, the bank door opening, everything happening. And it's again, it's simple, but it's well done. The rest of Dexter's crew hurry back with the wrench and hose, and they quickly get to work hooking it up to the hydrant. Well, meanwhile, inside the bank, Arno and Cookie knock out the guards, who are having a discussion about what they're going to have to eat. Like one talks about chili, no one talks about hot dogs and beans, and so they just go and knock them out. And so then they spray the bags of money, and they begin their getaway. Oh, and I didn't mention that again. This music is just continuing on, and it's fantastic.
Yes. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
But about this time, the bank president notices that the doors are opening all by themselves while no one else around seems to be aware. And Arno and Cookie open the car doors while Dexter shouts at his friends to turn the water on. But they're having a tough time because it's stuck. And finally, though, they get the water turned on, but it's too late because Arno and Cookie have already pulled away. But just coming out the door is the bank president, who gets a face full of water. But once he gets back to his feet, the president blames the guards for not believing Dexter, and he runs in and calls the police.
I don't mean to poke a hole in here, but wouldn't just a bucket of water have been easier than trying to go out and find a hose?
You think?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Anybody got a utility sink around here we can use?
Yes.
Right.
Got water balloon.
The gang all jump in their cars, and they give chase, and they eventually block the road, and Arno and Cookie are trapped. Then out of desperation, Arno pulls out his heater and starts firing at the college kids.
Yeah, a little quick on the trigger.
And he's like, I'll show them. How was I going to do this? And just starts letting it rip. Which some really nice effects too there, I thought. Of the bullets.
True. Agreed.
Well, the cops arrive, and I think we've seen this sergeant before.
This guy is like the ultimate Disney cop guy.
He is. He's in Boatniks and Ugly Dachshund, at least.
Mm-hmm.
The same guy. Mr.
Rattly voice.
Mr. Garrison.
Mr. Garrison. Is that the same guy? Yeah.
Same guy.
He's mad at the college kids because they're blocking the road, and he's trying to get to the bank robbery, but they're trying to explain to him that they've got the robbers right here. And but then Arno starts firing at them and shoots his hat off. And he's like, you know what, kid? I'm starting to believe you. Then Arno and Cookie decide that they've had enough, and they're done hanging around there. And they just decide, hey, we're just going to ram Skylar's VW Bug. And
Which is, I think, a Herbie, right?
That definitely was a Herbie.
Yeah.
That's definitely a Herbie, because you got the cloth top, and it's got white and partially painted white at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like a Herbie. That's our friend.
Yeah.
He's incognito, going undercover.
That's right.
When they ram into the VW, though, Skylar screams, "My insurance!"
Yeah. I laughed at that.
And, the robbers get away, and now everybody's chasing after him. And it's a dangerous looking scene because Arno and Cookie are just driving through gazebos and park benches and just destroying things left and right.
Yeah, like lots of people standing around too.
Yeah.
And and the stunt guys in Dexter's car, they're earning their paychecks too, because he is flying through there.
Mm-hmm. And they're piled in the back, like, hippies in the dune buggy, but there are like three people in the back seat, and Skylar's sitting up on like the back, whatever you call the back of the back seat.
They're just hanging onto the roll bar.
Yeah.
Well, Arno decides to spray the car invisible to help them escape the cops. And a pursuing cop car with Sergeant coming along and does not see this invisible car, and they run smack dab into it. It's a nice effect of the car being smashed up, and then you also see the burnout of Arno's car, pulling away, even though you don't see the cars. I was like, oh, that was really well done. I don't know how they did that one.
Yeah, agreed.
Sergeant alerts the other police that there's now an invisible car that they're after, and the college kids are pursuing it too, so be aware. And then the next few minutes is just a series of shots that include some nice special effects of the invisible cars, because there's like the spraying of the pedestrian who's standing nearby, and they drive through a puddle, and the water goes. I don't know how they did that. That was really well done. Then there's the running into the ladder, just a bunch of
Yeah, that ladder gag was really, really cool. The way it just sort of, yeah.
And so is there anything? I mean, again, it's a long sequence of kind of the same thing over and over. Was there anything notable that you guys wanted to mention about?
There was one scene that, was it 3 or 4 police cars?
Mm-hmm.
And they turned around and they showed the entire sequence of all 3 of them trying to turn around.
Yes, remember like Blues Brothers
3-point turns.
Yeah. They'd sped it up, which made me want to see the slowed down version. I mean, that was
so painful. It just slowed everything down. I was like,
some
why?
bad turning radiuses on these cars, man.
But yes, very, very Blues Brothers.
Before,
yeah, for sure.
I did like the effect of the invisible car going down like the dirt road.
I love that.
Yes, that was fantastic.
That was really good.
And then there's like the real tally-ho guy watching that. I love that. Yeah.
Guy with his monocle. Oh, heavens. Yeah.
Because it wasn't just like, hey, let's just, spray some, kind of, dust in the air. It was like you could see like the path of where the tires would be, and there's dirt kicking up in the air. Right. I mean, it was really well done. But when you're talking about the police, all like Blues Brothers and stuff, there's a massive like amount of arrogance by the police during this whole thing, because they're like, oh yeah, we've pretty much got this wrapped up.
Don't worry, we have them right where we want them.
Yeah. Yeah, we got them. I mean, it's okay, kids. We got this taken care of. And they just ignore Dexter's warning that Arno would be like staying in town to establish his alibi. They think, oh yeah, he's going to run to the next town or something. And it's not until they see the results of the invisible car again that they finally listen to Dexter. And so Dexter and the gang.
So dumb.
What was that?
You know what Dexter's really good at is building consensus. He's he'd be better on the debate squad or something like that. He's like really good. There's so many scenes of him like huddling people, like trying to change their mind, like appealing to them. Mm-hmm. There's like a large part of the movie is him like on a street corner being like, listen to me. This is what he's trying to do. I'm telling you the reasons why. So doesn't do it great. He doesn't have a really good hit rate, but with his peers, he does.
Yeah, Dexter on the debate team. I like that. That would be fun.
That's the movie that they never made, but should have.
That's right. The finale.
Well, Dexter and the gang are helping Skylar get his car moving again when they hear the pursuing sirens, and they devise a plan. Hey, we know that Arno lives over here, so look, we can like take this back road and get over there and block the road to his house. And then but Skylar's like, hey, who's going to help me? And one guy just kind of hands Skylar some gum to fix his tire.
Yeah.
But finally they get everybody moving, and they arrive and block the street, even pushing Skylar's VW that's just limping along. And unable to get through the roadblock, Cookie drives the car through a fence and ends up with the car in the bottom of a nearby swimming pool while there's a little dinner party going on.
You got to have the backyard party. That's another kind of back to Disney.
Oh, totally.
Like the little mid-century backyard party with the fancy drinks.
In the middle of the day, having their like evening party.
And
another good effect, though, driving the invisible car into the pool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah.
One of those party guests he's quite a character, because when the police arrive to get Arno and Cookie, he like reaches down and starts grabbing cash out of the pool.
You go.
Did they notice that?
Well, how about the guy with all the little, champagne or whatever, they're not flutes, whatever they are, the little glasses, and he's like sitting there like with the really wide stance shaking and dropping all of them. I like that guy too. Should have had the mouth popping guy. He'd have
been perfect.
Absolutely.
He'd have been good. Let's get him in there.
Well, over at Forsyth's, he's just minutes away from presenting the scientific award when Dexter and the others arrive to properly showcase the invisibility spray. Dean Higgins is there pouting about, not missing out on the award when he sees Dexter arrive and he sees Dexter talking to Mr. Forsythe. And so he's like, I got to put a stop to this. So while Dexter's about to spray Skyler, here comes Dean Higgins right in the middle, and Dexter accidentally sprays Dean Higgins. And so everyone thinks it's failed again, though, because the Dean is still visible, but after a short delay, due to chlorine water having been mixed into the solution, the top half of Dean Higgins disappears, and all you see is the lower half walking around, much to everyone's astonishment. Dean doesn't realize that he's invisible, and he doesn't understand why everyone's wild reaction to him, and so he has some funny little quips.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
He's got like a line for everybody.
Yeah.
right, and it's really loud again because he's invisible, but he doesn't know it. But yeah,
There's something he says a line to one of the guys. He's like, "Yeah, you need to work on your handshake or something."
Yeah, you got to work out some. Your handshake is falling off or something like that.
Yeah. Well, it's not until the Dean sees, or actually rather doesn't see, his reflection in the mirror that he passes out, but he's quickly revived, and when some he's quickly revived and revealed when some water's thrown on him. And coming to, Mr. Forsythe awards the Dean the $50,000, saving the college for another year. And then might be one of my favorite parts of the movie, because there's this really nice scene of just like self-awareness of these characters and these movies when the gangs are asking, how are we going to come up with the money again for next year? Because all this has been accidental, and we didn't even know what we were doing. And
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. And Skyler was like, don't worry about it, because I'll think of something. And they all ride off in their cars, and that ends 2025's Now You See Me, Now You Don't, starring Jesse Eisenberg, Dave Franco, Woody Harrelson, and Ida Fisher.
man, this whole kind of talk about next time and this debate team thing, it makes me think. We're Freaky or Friday's out. Why not have Kurt Russell come back and do another Dexter Riley movie?
That would be amazing.
Let's see what he's doing. He could still do it.
Yeah.
That would be
What's
great.
he done in the intervening years? What happened to Dexter Riley?
Make it for a Disney Plus movie. It doesn't have to be in the theaters.
Yeah, Disney Plus. And not in
I would
theaters.
watch that in a heartbeat.
Be good. It's good to be back, guys. This is
It
our
is. It is.
middle of the road here.
Back in our lane.
I showed up tonight. I was going to give some really low scores, and I might still give a few, but you guys have just really raised my spirits. Can I just say that?
Yeah, agreed.
I'll allow it.
Let's rate this puppy. We're gonna do it. We're not. We're putting the touchstone rating system to bed. We're gonna do it using our signature Medfield College system here. Robert, what is the scale we're grading with tonight?
Well, I kind of went back and forth on a few, and maybe I should open it back up to the society. But watching this, and I mentioned it just a moment ago that I discussed some of these movies with my film crew that I work with professionally, and they're big fans of the podcast and of the movies that we watch, and they had never heard of this trilogy. And I kind of talked about it. It kind of was a lot of tired plot devices in it. So that's what I thought it would be. But maybe there's a better one. So I'm gonna open it up to the floor.
Hmm. That's a good question.
There
Oh,
wasn't anything that jumped out in this
Yeah,
movie.
no,
I
there's
didn't
no
think.
sort of iconic MacGuffin.
There's the ice cream cone.
Ice cream.
Soggy tennis shoes, soggy Chuck
Yeah,
Taylor.
Budget line items. Or
Mortgages.
It's just
mortgages,
college
mortgages,
mortgages. Yes.
college mortgages is good.
I mean, that could be one because we have. I mean, they've done that one twice, so it's.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see. We'll stick with tired plot devices because that's a plot device that they've used before. So we'll be
works.
more
Okay.
specific, and we'll call it college mortgages.
College mortgages on a scale of 1 to 5. That's a lot of college mortgages. So how many of those do you give the plot and writing of Now You See It, Now You Don't, Andy?
It's pretty weak as on the plot and writing. I don't think there's, there may be a few. There's a few good gags here and there. So overall, though, I think I would have to give it a 2.
Okay. Robert, what about you?
Yeah, same thing for me. It's. I mean, again, there's a lot of just kind of they're just plugging in a different script or around the same. Dexter Riley does something screwball, and discovers something amazing. So yeah, 2.
Okay. Michael?
I'm going to have to say the same. Like, I wound up in Act 2 out on that beach with the golf movie that was happening and thinking, what is going on? What did they forget what movie they were making? So I don't think a lot of effort was put into this. It just kind of breezes by, though. There's just not a lot of stuff. There are lots of a lot of driving and a lot of golf, but other than that, not much stuff. So yeah, 2 for me.
Okay, I'm going to do my low score here. I'm going to give it a 1 because it just seemed like a TV show to me. And it just seemed like there was nobody like developed at all. Nothing ever changed. I mean,
Right.
they hung a lantern on it at the end, which I do appreciate. There was some kind of awareness going on. There were some jokes that really made me laugh. Makes me want to give it a 2, but I'm going to give it a 1 because I just thought it's just like a TV show. And that's what TV shows are great, because you turn it on and the characters are the same, whatever. It doesn't have to have that like arc, but movie kind of like even Herbie Goes Bananas. Like you can say, well, X happened to Paco, like they learned something, like something changed, but it's just kind of lazy.
You talked me into it. I'm going down to a 1. I'm with you, Jeff.
I think this is the weak point of, go ahead.
Because there's a lot of moments where I was like looking at my watch, waiting for this to be over. Especially in the third act, I was ready for wrap it up. So.
Yeah, like once it hits that, just like insert driving sequence here for 25 minutes or something, and just let the gag guys figure it out.
And again, like my kids have started like coming in when I'm like wrapping up these movies, and my daughter came in, she's 6, she came in during the car chase, and she was like in stitches, like all of every one of it was like, she was like guffawing, and I'm like, okay, I mean, this is what this is for, like, right? It's just like,
it's great.
and it was like, she wanted to see another one, right? She's like, that funny thing happened. Let's see another thing like that with an invisible car. Oh yeah, there's another one. And what about another one? So it's made me think differently about it, but I am still rating it. And yes,
it definitely is the little kid mindset of, I enjoyed that, I would like to repeat it infinite amount of times.
Right.
Another, please.
And to me, there was no real conflict. I mean, obviously there was like the mortgage thing that was kind of a vague threat, but it was like instantly defanged or debunked.
Well, yeah, and it was never like yeah, there was never any. Yeah, and like
There was never a payoff. Like even when this computer that wore tennis shoes, like winning the college bowl or whatever it was they were competing in.
Yeah.
there was, and it would have made more sense of like Arno is trying really hard throughout the movie to build the casino.
Yeah.
But instead it's like, oh no, he just discovers about the invisibility and tries to rob a bank.
Yes.
It's
It
like
was
that
always-
doesn't make any, it's like it doesn't even stay consistent. It doesn't make sense.
It was a threat the entire time, but there was never really any stakes. I mean,
Yeah.
they should have at least said, okay, I am foreclosing. And then now they had to do something.
Right. Well, casting and acting, I will give. I'm going to give it a 3 because I thought, what I think, it was fine. I would. My biggest issues are with the plot and writing, and I love Kurt Russell. I'm going to give it the Kurt Russell bump to a 3. And that's my final answer. So, what about you, Michael?
Yeah, I'll give it a 3 as well. I mean, I'm tempted to even go higher than that just because I enjoy so many of these like character actors they drop into these. Like every
That
role
guy
is like
yeah.
a memorable dude.
Yeah,
Like there's nobody who is just not interesting in some way or another. Like even just all those old guys on the golf course were interesting. I mean, and obviously nobody was asked to do a lot of acting in something like this, but like everybody does what is required of them. And
it's yeah.
I mean,
like
it's
a
like
bunch of
casting,
utility.
casting is way more interesting than the acting because the
Yes.
casting is so fun.
Yes. Well done, casting director, CSA. All right, Andy, what about you?
I feel the same way. I am so tempted to give it a 4 right now. Because you guys have given 3, because again, I think it's closer to a 3 than a 4, but it feels like it needs a little bump, to kind of bring it up just a tad. So, well, I'm using my score to change to kind of, I don't know, put a curve on it, I guess. So I'll give it a 4, even though I really think it's more of a 3, but just to kind of make the overall come
I
out.
back that play. That makes sense.
Robert, I just wish we could go in a time machine and play these scores to Andy when he started. I mean,
Yes.
what do you think about what you've
Now,
done here?
I felt like I explained that answer really well. I think it really is closer to a 3.
Yeah, I
But-
get you.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing. What about you, Robert?
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong here. I like Kurt Russell, but I'm also reminded of a line from The Office where Michael Scott has to go to try to act like he's friendly to Toby. He says, "You're going to see some Class A acting right now. Eat your heart out, Kurt Russell," was the joke. And there's just nothing here that made me say, yeah, these people are doing some fine work here. So I'm going to give it a low score. I'm going to give it a 2 for
Well,
that.
then that just changes my score completely because it just negates it.
There you go. I mean,
So,
I thought about giving it a 2. I came in.
All right, then knock me down to a 3.
I'll leave mine where it's at because it's just my affinity for Kurt Russell is keeping it low. But I agree with Michael's point. I think the utility of the casting is good, but I also agree with Robert that the acting is not as great. If they were divided, the scores would be very disparate for me.
I'll agree with that.
Production value. Now, this is an interesting one, and I would like to hear my brother's thoughts on this. Michael, what do you think?
This is another one I struggled with as I was watching because
Yes.
I mean they did stuff. It's all like little stuff, but it's all like I said when we were talking about the movie. I don't know how they did half of these little practical effects that they did. They're really good. And it's to the detriment of the story of the movie that it's just nonstop. But when you think about production value, it is nonstop. And also the music we've talked about. I don't know. it's very low key, most of it just shooting on the Disney lot and shooting on sound stages and stuff. But the practical stuff is so good. So I'll give it a 3 for sure. A solid 3.
Okay, Andy, what about you?
I have nothing really to add to that, so I agree 100%. I get 3.
I want to hear what Robert has to say before I decide on my.
Whenever a movie, especially a movie that's low budget, and there's some lazy stuff that happens in this movie from a production standpoint. But whenever a movie with a low budget like this is making me go, how did they do that? And there was a lot of those moments in this movie, and I enjoyed that immensely. Trying to wrap my head around some of these practical effects. So I'm going to give it a high score. I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Just for the practical effects that I could not figure out.
Yeah, it's the practical effects that bring it. I'm going to give it a 3. At first, when it started, I was like, this is a TV show. This is just it just really, and I feel like the music cues were more kind of rote and repetitive at the beginning. It's just like, kind of stuff. But as it went along, it kind of unfolded, and yeah, definitely. Something we didn't mention was the car chase in Glendale, Michael, and
yes.
You could see Flower Street. You could see the Imagineering offices.
Yeah, absolutely. It was kind of a trip, just the car chase through Burbank and Glendale, and
it was
stopping
fun
by
to
all these locations.
Right, and to kind of, as somebody who's been there, always be thinking about that was fun for me.
Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. And that park that they crashed through is very similar to that park that's down by the 405 or whatever it is. So, yeah, fun.
So yeah, I'll give it a 3, but I think it's like the bread and butter of the Disney studio in the 70s, where you see these movies that are super low budget, but they've got those special effects guys there that, may not be putting out their best efforts, but they've got a lot of experience in the rear view mirror. So there's just some,
and also kind of going back to some of the chasings. Shout out to those stunt guys.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good call. That is a very good call. Yeah. Because there were a couple of those where multiple, where I was like, well, that seems dangerous. Like those guys holding the ladders in front of the cars that were coming speeding by. I'm like, that's not super safe.
All right, here we go. Entertainment value. I'm going to give it back to Andy first. I don't know what to do tonight because you all have really uplifted me. So what a way to spend an evening. But Andy, you have surprised me most of all. What do you give? How many failing college mortgages do you give this movie on entertainment value?
I said at the top of top of the podcast that this was not another example of this is not a good movie, but I was entertained and I enjoyed it. And so for me, there's all kinds of things in this. I liked the cast. I liked I like Kurt Russell. I like the combination of the Dean's character. It was even though as annoying as he is, there was just something kind of fun about him. There are bad things about this movie, and it definitely has problems. But I mean, for it to be Ed Begley Jr.'s first credited feature film, for that alone, I have to give this a 3.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Michael, what about you?
I will give it a 3 as well. I will say going into the golf thing, when I was like, this is going to be brutal. It didn't go on as long as I feared. It went on way too long, but not to the point of pain. I feel like the car chase was a little much, but they threw in so much different kinds of silly things that I don't know. There was always a little something to keep it interesting. So I will agree with Andy's sentiment from the top of the film that it wasn't good, but it did. It just it felt good. So yeah. I'll give it a 3. Yeah.
I'm going to go a little bit lower and give it a 2, although I agree with what you all have said. And, to your point, Michael, they did not hit the same note over and over and over again. They did on the golf, but on the car stuff, I felt like there was just like a little bit more, again, in this movie, like a little bit more of a countercultural, like, humor.
Yeah.
It's very subtle, but like I thought the kind of police car thing, it was bizarre, like a kind of like more bizarre thing that I liked. But I don't know if it was intentional. I think some of it was. I don't know, but it's like a little bit more of a Dad, can I borrow the car? Perhaps, or whatever that one is.
A little extra flavor, yeah.
But it's still not enough. Like, I don't know. There's just something wrong in the gumbo for me to make me, like, I always think about watching it again. And I would rather watch a lot of movies. I mean, I'd rather watch movies that were like a little bit older than this, a little bit more Walt era than this kind of era. So I'm going to go a little bit lower. Yeah. And Robert, I'll let you have the last word.
Yeah, I mean, would I watch it again? Yeah, I think I would. And I mean, and Dave Hill is part of that. I thought it was just weird that he was in this movie. And then I was reading about him, and then his look takes he gave. They're into golf, and just a lot of the weird strangeness of this movie entertained me enough to say that I will go back again and watch it, possibly with my kids. And so it is a 3.
Okay. All right. Well, so I think it's made it out pretty well. Fittingly, let's punch it into the computer that wore tennis shoes again. We've got it right over here in the basement. Staying cool, hopefully dry. And let's see what Now You See Him, Now You Don't got from our crew tonight.
All right, so Now You See Him, Now You Don't, with its failing college mortgages. It comes in at tie for 51st overall.
Yes.
Right there with Armageddon with a 2.56.
I would rather watch this than Armageddon.
I think I would too. I think
I would too. It's just less to take on.
Just give it a little bit of a bump just to put it above Armageddon. But in a tie, the tie goes to college mortgages. So.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. What's around it except for Armageddon? What else we got?
So just above it is Tough Guys. So our touchstone joints are keeping it company. And then just below it is Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
And the Shaggy DA is also just above it as well.
Okay. Interesting conglomeration
It's an interesting neighborhood for sure.
I think I'd watch this over Tough Guys too, maybe.
I don't know, man. I think I might have to watch Tough Guys again. That's tough. Well, either way, what did you think, dear listener? Did you watch it? It's not on Disney Plus. Did you figure out why it's not on Disney Plus? We couldn't.
Yeah, it beats me.
If somebody wanted to tell us their thoughts on this fine film, or maybe wanted to implore us to rate it higher or re-rate it, how would they get in touch with us, Rob?
Oh, well, the best way to get in touch with us is the info@medfieldfilm.com. And I'm certain we were going to get some emails about this movie. I just know that some of our movie sleuths out there are going to sniff out some information that we missed and remind us, especially the Herbie stuff. I know there's going to be some people talking Herbie because I feel like he was all over this movie. There were several bugs that were just sort of floating around. And you can find us again on social media at Medfield Film. And a quick reminder: if you can guess what our nuclear option is, you'll get to suggest a movie for season 8. We're going to add a cutoff to that, though. I think after Halloween.
Okay.
And only one guest per household, please. So
okay.
I'm looking your direction, Casey Murphy. Again, I know you may flood us with emails trying to figure out what that button is for the nuclear option. But just one guest, please.
Seems very reasonable. Anything else to say tonight before we turn it in?
Always fun to visit Medfield.
Yes,
it is. It was nice to get back.
We dragged you back in, Andy.
Yeah. You brought me back. Just when I thought I was out, you
He's
pulled me
gone.
back.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was a close one. Almost had a graphic overload. Hi, I'm Dexter Riley, and I may have quote unquote invented invisibility. But when it comes to making your business stand out, there's no better genius than Todd Naprick of Binding Graphics. Todd's not just a graphics guy, he's practically the Dave Hill of marketing, minus the controversy. Posters, signs, logos, branding, bam, zap, pow. He can make your ideas appear sharper than a laser beam. Trust me, you'll never lose sight of your brand with Todd at the controls. So if you want your business to pop right off the page and not disappear, call Todd Naprick at Binding Graphics today. Because when he designs it, you see it, you love it, you remember it.
Riley, what in the blazes is going on here? Custom typeface, drop shadows? This is not what Medfield's budget is for.
Dean Higgins, don't worry. It's not an experiment this time. It's just the amazing work of Todd Naprick at Binding Graphics. Look at that lettering. Cleaner than your new golfing trophy.
Well, it is legible, and I do like how my name looks in bold.
See, even the dean approves. And he doesn't approve of anything.
I still don't like it. But I want 10 copies for the alumni banquet, and why is there a large planner on my desk with a microphone in it? Oh, well, I'm sure it's fine.
Well, that wraps it up for tonight here, live from Medfield College. We look forward to joining you next time. Stay tuned. What's happening in Season 7, you'll have to wait and see. So long, everybody.
Proud are we of mighty Medfield, alma mater dear. All your sons and daughters hail to thee, Medfield College of Technology. And while we hold your banner high, rock, rock, we shout your praises to the sky, rock, rock. For proud are we of mighty Medfield, loyal